Hello friends, Kurt Berglund with you. We are looking at Pegboard baseball today. It's our first look. I am not going to be doing a full game demo. We're going to do a little bit, a couple innings probably. But a full game demo is coming down the line. The sequence that we're doing, previous video that was on my channel was the unboxing of this set. Today we're doing a first look. We'll be going through the rules for the basic version of the game, and we're going to be doing a little rolling with that setup, with those rules for the basic version of the game. Next video will be the advanced version rules, and then I will do, after that one, the fourth video will be a full game, advanced game demo. So that's what's coming. So we're going to start with the rules, what the cards look like, how the game is played in the basic setup. Greg Sovan is the creator of the game. The ordering information and the Delphi page for the community is in the description for this video below. And if you've not subscribed to my channel, please do so. I need your subscriptions to keep my channel going, my friends, and I do appreciate it very much. Share this video, like the video, get the word out. I need the help. Thank you. Alright, so we're going to start by looking at the play cards. Now, in the instructions for Pegboard baseball, first thing is that it's intended to be a not quick play, but to play quickly. And so it's great if you're just whipping through games. Maybe you're on vacation. Maybe you're teaching the game to somebody. This would be great for the basic version. It would be great for teaching somebody more about the game of baseball, or if you just want to get some games out of your system, it's perfect. So let's look at the cards for the basic version and go through the rules for that. And then what we'll do is we'll play a few innings with the cards that you get with the game. There are 24 of them, 12 for each league. No pitchers. The pitchers come with the franchise all-star set, and you use those with the advanced version of the game. Alright, so let's get to looking at the cards and going over the instructions. Here we go. I pulled this card because I want to show you what a catcher looks like, and I'm also going to show you an outfielder in a moment as well to show you what those cards look like. For each card, player name, you get the team and the season that the card is based on. So you're getting a look at, so the statistics for the card come from this season, including home runs, doubles, triples, walks, strikeouts, hit by pitches, stolen bases, caught stealing, and batting average. All right, so age of the player in this season is put right after the team name. Very brief statistics. And then you get the catcher position, C for JT Realmuto, and then comes the arm rating, which in his case is S for strong. That's going to come into play on steal attempts, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Give an example of an outfield card. Here's Christian Yelich from 2019. Same deal, but here you can see he is, first of all, you get his nickname, but then If they win the MVP, that is indicated on the card. And this is an assist rating. Outfield 1. The 1 is an assist rating, and then fast would be for his speed. All right, now come back to Real Muto. The assist rating, first of all, for Yelich, that's an advanced rule, so we'll come back to that in the next video. All right, now we have our dice combinations and our play results for the game. We're using 2d6s for Pegboard Baseball. That's all you need. These are all of your dice combinations and the play results. These are called splits. So this isn't lefty-righty splits, but these are splits to divide up the play outcomes. All of this will vary depending upon the player and the statistics. So let's say you roll the 2 dice here and you read the lower number first. So if I rolled this, for instance, if I rolled a 16, we'd look not at a 61, we'd read the lower number first. So we'd roll as we'd read a 16, and it'd be a ground out to shortstop with a double play if we could get it. All right. Now, if you look at dice roll 44, most, not all, but most of the dice roll 44s have at least 2 numbers, 2 possibilities. Sometimes it has 3 possibilities. This is another example of a split reading, like in Real Muto's case, the 11 is a split reading. So you'd re-roll your D6 and you'd get a new outcome. So if you roll a 44, you come here and you say, oh, well, we have 3 options here. So I'm going to roll a D6 again and we'll determine which of those 3 it'll be. Same thing over here. All right. Sometimes you get a split and it doesn't give you the number exactly what's going to happen. So let me give you an example of that. Time out. No, I'm wrong. I'm wrong about that. I thought I spotted one before, but this would be another example of a split. We have Aaron Judge's card on a 34, single 1 to 2, strikeout 3 to 6. So it'll tell you, I guess it does tell you in all the cards what exactly the split outcomes will be. All right, so going back to Real Muto, the asterisks after each outcome tell you how many bases the base runners will advance on that particular result. So in this case, a double means a 3-base advance for the base runners, but if it's a single, that means only 1 base with 1 asterisk. A single with 1 asterisk means 1 base. Here's an example of a double, 2 asterisks, they're going 2 bases. All right, on 33, we have a double with a 2 asterisk result, but if the runner is fast, then they score from first base. On 46, is a fly out to right field. Most runners will hold, but a fast runner can score as a sacrifice fly chance. On 26, this tells you that it's a ground out to second, but the runners advance. On 12, it tells you it's a ground out to short, but there's a double play if you can get it, and another one down here on 16. Sometimes this is a fielder's choice. It just varies depending upon how many times the hitter hit into a double play. Here's a fielder's choice example. Ground out to third, fielder's choice. Now, let's talk about 14. Defensive ratings come into play for the opposition on these two results, 14 and 55. So we have an error chance for the second baseman on 14. If you roll a 1-2, it's a ground ball double play to the second baseman. If you roll a 3-6, now you're saying to yourself, well, wait a minute, what would the defensive rating look like for a second baseman? Well, that's a good question. So let's look at a second baseman's rating. Okay, so here's an example of a second baseman. This is Altuve from 17. His rating, his defensive rating, is a 1. Okay, now on the advanced game, you can do an error check, and we'll look at this more when we do the advanced game, but these numbers on an infielder's defense go from 0 to 6. If you want to use this method, if you roll a 1, then that would be an error. But then there is no error if you roll a 2 through 6. If you're using the basic version of the game, you don't need to check the second baseman's defense. You just roll the 1-2, and if you do, it's an error, and if you do, a ground out. So there is individualized fielding results, but that's in the advanced game. If you're just doing the basic game, you've got this way to resolve it. Now, on number 55, you have a result, a hit result. Sometimes it's extra bases, sometimes it's singles. Most of the time, I guess it's singles. But you have an assist chance. Now, the assist chance is a way for the outfielder to throw out a runner trying to take an extra base. So, you roll the second D6, and in this case, if it's a 1-3, the runner's out. It's a 4-6, the runner is safe. Notice you get a different outcome if the runner is fast. It's tougher to throw that person out. Now, for the advanced game, this is also individualized. So, if we look at Yelich, for example, his assist number is a 1. So instead of looking here and doing a 1-3 out, save 4-6, you would just take Yelich's outfield assist number, which would be a 1. If you do that and you roll a 1, the runner's out. 2 through 6, the runner's going to be safe. So you would ignore these lines. Okay, now let me find an example. Here's an example of an outfielder with a better assist number, Sammy Sosa from 98. He is an assist 3 for that kind of event for a 55. All right. Dice roll 15 is a single with a stolen base opportunity. If second base is open, you roll a d6, and if it is a 1 to 2, that is a stolen base. If the d6 is a 3, he's caught stealing. And if it's anything else, there is no steal attempt. So if it's a 4 to 6, in this case, there's no steal attempt. Give you another example of that. Let's go to Yelich. In this case, he singles. He might go 1 to 4, he's safe. 5 to 6, he's caught. He doesn't stick at first under any circumstances. However, here's Aaron Judge. He might. Single, stolen base if you roll a 1, caught stealing if you roll a 2, and he stays at first 3 through 6. All right. 23 looks pretty generic for each player card. So we have a 23 roll. We have a line. You roll the second d6, line out 1 to 3, double play 4 to 6, and then if there's nobody out and at least 2 men on base, you can get a triple play. So you get a triple play if you roll a 6 and it's possible to do, you get a triple play. Okay. And I think that covers the results. Pretty much everything else should be self-explanatory. Here we have for 22, we have a double the 2-base advance, strikeout. We talked about 33. Yeah. All right. Now let's look at a different player card and see how they differ. Yelich in some detail here. Notice that where on Real Muto's 11 you have a split result, 1 to 3, 4 to 6. For Yelich, an 11 is just gone. For Real Muto, we have a 13, walk 1, hit by pitch 2, single 3 to 5, strikeout 6 result. For Yelich, on 13, we have a walk 1 to 5, hit by pitch 6. And that, okay, 44 is different. We have a 3 possible outcome on Real Muto's card. A triple 1, a double clearing the bases 2, and a single 3 through 6. On Yelich, we just have a bases clearing double. Yeah. Here's another difference. Real Muto, if you roll 35, it's a ground out fielder's choice. Yelich, you roll 35, ground out to first, runner's advance. So the outs vary as well. Okay. So there are your basic rules. Now let's take a look at the pegboard itself, and then we'll roll a few innings to give you an idea of how the game works. So if you just wanted to play a generic game without any player cards, you could use this to determine your outcomes. But what we're interested in showing you here is how you can use the pegboard. You don't even have to keep a score sheet if you don't want to. You can use the pegboard to keep track of your innings, which inning it is, your outs here, 1, 2, and 3, your runs for each team, visitor on top, home down below. So if the home is leading 5-0, you'd have your pegs like that. you have extra pegs so that if you or when you get base runners, maybe you've got runners at first and second, you put your pegs in like this, and you keep your extra pegs down below so that you've got them in case you need them. And that's what the pegboard looks like. It's a wonderful piece of wood. It's, I don't know, 1/2 an inch thick, 3/4 of an inch thick. And I would say 9 or 10 inches tall. And nice piece, it looks good. It's a good looking piece of equipment for the game. I imagine they tried doing pegboard baseball, but not having a pegboard, and it just didn't work out. No, that's a joke. That's a joke. Put the gun down. Put the gun down. All right, so let's go through with this as our pegboard. We'll come back to this, and let's do an inning or two of pegboard baseball. All right, so we have Jose Altuve at the plate. I'm going to zoom in on the card a little bit again so that you can get a sense of, I don't have a batting order here. I've just got the 12 American Leaguers in a stack and the 12 National Leaguers, and we're going to go through so you can get a sense of how the game plays. I got our 2d6s, and we're ready to roll. Here we go. 45 is a walk. So I'm coming back to my pegboard now and putting a peg at first base to indicate that's where Altuve is. All right. Next batter, Aaron Judge. Rolling our 2d6s, it's a 35, strikeout. Coming back to our pegboard. Moving this, coming back to our pegboard. Now I move it to out number 1. All right, 1 out, 1 on for the American League. Xander Bogaerts. Move this out of the way. Interfering with my light. 35 is a ground out to third base, runners advance. All right, so on our pegboard, we move Altuve from first base to second base, and we move our outs from 1 to 2. Wonderfully tactile for a young learner trying to teach the game. Very motivational. Can see a lot of benefits here, especially for the basic game because they're going to pick it up quickly. Here's Mike Trout with 2 outs and Altuve on second. It's a 56. Hey, struck him out. All right, so that's 3 outs. Altuve is done on the bases. And we go to the bottom of the first. Mark it down there. All right. Next, we have the National League. And we saw Real Muto's card. We saw Yelich's cards. Let's move those on. We're going to go to Cody Bellinger. 24 on his card. And he struck him out. So we move our outs to 1 out in the bottom of the first. Next batter, Corey Seager. 16, ground out to short, runners advance if there are any. There aren't any, so we just move our outs pegged out, number 2. And the next batter up for the National League will be Ronald Acuna Jr. And he rolls a 16. That's a ground out to short, fielder's choice. Well, we're making good time. That's 3 outs. So we're going to move our peg to the top of the second inning. And the American League comes back up to the plate. White Sox first baseman Jose Abreu, 25. is a single 1, sac fly to left, 2 through 6. Okay, it's a 2, so he flies out to left. We move our outs to out number 1. J.D. Martinez, 33, double. On our board, we take our home peg and we put J.D. at second base. 1 out, 1 on in the top of the second. Manny Machado comes to the plate for the Baltimore Orioles. 13 is a strikeout, so we have 2 down. And Martinez still at second base, and now it's Bregman. Alex Bregman. Pitch to him is a 14. Now we have an error chance, so we're going to do this the basic version way, and when we do the advanced game, we'll do this the advanced way, but we have to roll our D6. It's a 4, so it's a ground ball double play. Well, we can't get a double play, but with 2 outs, we don't need one. That retires the side. So we go now to the bottom of the second, move our outs to 0, and we have to take J.D. Martinez off the bases, and it's the bottom of the second. National League comes up. Nolan Arenado will lead off. 15, single with a stolen base. All right, so we know it's a single. So Arenado's at first. Now for him, there's 3 possibilities. If I roll a 1, he steals. If I roll a 2, he's caught stealing. Now, what this tells you is that he's caught stealing if the catcher's arm is strong. So how do we know that? Well, we have to look at the catcher's card. Let's suppose that Salvador Perez is the catcher. He has a strong arm. All right, so that tells us that when Arenado tries to steal, if I roll a 2, he's caught stealing. If I roll a 3 through 6, he is not going. He's not going. All right, so Arenado's on with a single to lead off the bottom of the second. Here's Chris Bryant. 34 is a strikeout. So we move our outs to 1. So there's 1 out, and Arenado's still on first. Paul Goldschmidt of the Diamondbacks is up. 46 is a fly out to right field. So that's caught. If there's a fast runner on third, he's going to score on a sacrifice fly, but Arenado's on first, number 1. He's not on third. And if we check Arenado's speed, he's not fast, so he wouldn't score anyway on that. So Goldschmidt flies out, and we need to move our outs from 1 to 2, 2 outs, and Arenado's still at first, and here comes Joey Votto. And it's a 16 ground ball shortstop, and that'll be a fielder's choice, but it doesn't matter because there's 2 outs, and that will retire the side. 3 outs. Move our peg to the top of the third. We're going to do 1 more inning and take Arenado off the bases, and it's time for the American League to try and score a run. To do that, it's Francisco Lindor. He will lead off. Notice he's fast. Notice his infield range rating. Okay, we have another split, 13. Single 1 to 2, walk 3 to 5, hit by pitch 6. Okay, he draws a walk. So we take someone off our bench and we put it on first base. There's Lindor. Now comes Salvador Perez. Gone. Just like that. So we have a couple things. One, we have the visiting team getting on the scoreboard, so we're going to move our peg for the visitor score to a 2. And we have to take Lindor off the bases because he just scored in front of Perez. And it's 2-0 American League. Mookie Betts with nobody out. 34 is a base hit for Betts. So we pull out a visitor peg and put him on first base. Man on with nobody out. And now it's Miguel Cabrera. 45, ball 4, he walked him. So now we put another man on base, so we have 2 men on with nobody out. Now it's Jose Altuve. Oh, I guess we've been through the order. All right, Altuve, the pitch to him, 35. Ground out third base, fielder's choice. So what we do here, just for the basic game, we eliminate the man on second. So that will allow, now I'm forgetting. That will allow Betts to get to third, but Cabrera is retired, and Altuve is safe at first. There is now 1 out, so we move our peg to the 1 out spot. There's runners at first and third. Betts here, Altuve there. And now it's Aaron Judge. That's gone. 3-run homer. Brings home those 2 guys, brings home Betts and Altuve. And we have to move our run peg out to the 5 spot. And they have got a nice lead going now. Xander Bogaerts. 14. Error on the second baseman, 1-2. Ground out double play, 3-6. Well, the bases are empty, so there's no double play, but that will retire Bogaerts. We'll move our peg to the 2nd out. And now it's Mike Trout. Gone. Yikes. Monster inning. 6-run inning for the American League. Still 2 outs. And Abreu. 12. Ground ball, shortstop, double play. Well, don't need it. There's 2 outs. That'll retire the side. But the American League puts up a 6 spot, so we've got our 6 runs marked there. We can move our outs back to 0, and we can move our inning down to the bottom of the 3rd. 6-0 American League, and the National League gets their last ups in our 3-inning sample game. Leading off will be Javi Baez. 22, double. Fast runner would score from first. So Baez gets to go to second base. Freddie Freeman comes to the plate. 36, pop out. 1 down. Giancarlo Stanton. 56, he struck him out. 2 down. Baez still at second, and now it's Real Muto. 35, ground ball, third base, fielder's choice, don't need it. That retires the side. So the American League wins our 3-inning game by a score of 6-0. I'm just going through the National League players. I guess everybody batted. So you know now who the 24 players are that are in the, when you purchase the game, those are the players that you get. This is your stack of guys. Notice the card stock is it's the thickest I've ever seen for a game. It just is the thickest. All right, couple last comments before we depart. This was the basic game walkthrough, first look at the process for playing the basic game of Pegboard baseball. As a teaser for the advanced game adds in these elements. The error ratings that we talked about for the infielders, the assist ratings for the outfielders, the catcher throwing arms get a tweak on the attempts to steal bases. The optional strategy of playing it safe on the bases, which you can do if you want to take the assist out of the play. You can do that. There's an optional strategy for sacrifice bunting. There's an optional strategy for the suicide squeeze. There's an optional strategy for the hit and run. There's an optional strategy to play the infield in. And last but not least, there's pitching. In the advanced game, there are pitchers, and they have an impact on the outcomes on the batter's card. And I'll explain how those work as well. So there's a lot of additions, there's a lot of additions to the game through the advanced version. Come on back for my next first look at the advanced version, and then in subsequent videos we will do a full game demo with pitching and hitting, so you can see how the game works on the advanced level in practice. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe. Have a wonderful day. So long, everybody.